Hi FML, it's Shelby. Today we have a full minute 30 body workout for you using the band. I'm going to use a fabric band, light to medium resistance. I'm using more on the medium side today. And then a set of weights, I'm using 5 pounds. If you don't have a band, not a big deal. You can always do the same thing without it. And same thing with those weights. You could always use that body weight resistance. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to start with that band on the thighs and just like light to medium. And then I'm going to go sideways just so you can see a little better for the first part. And then knees hip distance apart. And then we're going to hinge back a few inches, push forward. So inhale back, exhale, push up, squeeze through those glutes. As you go back, you can go all the way down, tap the heels. You could stop in that little bit of a hover, whatever feels good. But on the way up, you want to think glutes. On the way down, you're going to feel those quads. If you don't feel it enough, start to take those knees out a little bit wider towards the sides of the room. 15 seconds, we're going to hold it down, and then we're going to go little bitty pulses, up 1 inch and down 1 inch. Keep squeezing on the way up. This one down and hold. So holding down, go up 1 inch, down. As you go up, think about like little scoop, tuck. So you should feel your quads burn, but you should also feel your glutes start to burn, engaging the low abdominals. Think about taking a punch into that low belly. 15 seconds to go, small, controlled. We're going to come all the way back up in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Push it up, and then we'll turn forward. And then we're going to go left leg out to the side, right leg down underneath that hip, and then drop it back, push it up. So same thing as that first hip hinge, going back with that booty, sliding it forward. And as you go back, your chest goes forward, but you want to keep that lift. So hinging back truly at those hips. 15 seconds. We're going to hold it back, and we're going to go little bitty pulses, up 1 inch and down 1 inch. You can go flat foot, you can tuck the toes, you could play with the two, see which one feels better. Last 2. Last one back and hold. Little pulse up, down, slow, controlled, 10 seconds. We're going to hold this position. We're going to lift up through the chest in 3, 2, and 1. Push it up. Keep that right knee underneath the hip, left leg out to the side, and then go left hand behind the head, right arm down, crunch down, inhale, pull it up, exhale. So crunching those feet firmly planted, that left elbow pulled back and line with the head. As you go down, you can go all the way down, tap the mat to pull it up, and then you could always go both hands behind the head. Try which one feels better for you. And then imagine your back is flat against a wall behind you. Yes, keeping that nice stack in alignment. 20 seconds. We're going to hold it down. We're going to take that top arm, reach it up to the ceiling, and then we're going to lower the arm towards that bottom arm, pull it back up to the ceiling. 3. Last 2. This one down and hold. Take that top arm, reach it up to the ceiling, slowly lower, rotate towards the ground, lift it up, rotate, shoulders open, lower down, arms parallel, lift it up, reach to the ceiling, shoulders open up nice and wide. 15 seconds to go. We're going to lower all the way down onto that right side. Head can go in the hand, we can go up on the forearm. Last 2. Steady pace. Last one. And then pull all the way back up. And then we're going to lay down on the side. So laying on the side. And then for this first one, we could always start up on the forearm. We can always go down from there. And then that top knee, so your bottom knee is going to, sorry, what'd you say? Yeah, sorry. Left leg first. Left leg first. Also, I just realized I had my socks on and I'm like dying sweating. So then right knee is going to pull underneath your hip in line with the hip. Your left leg is going to lift up, start at hip height, and then it's just a little pulse up and down, up and down. So that right shoulder pulls down and back away from the ear. You could always look down at the right elbow. You can look straight out, whatever feels better on your neck, it doesn't matter. And then if you feel that left shoulder, top shoulder start to round forward, you could always go hand up on hip, hand back behind you, just trying to stay open. And as you push up, squeeze, exhale into that left glute up at the very top. You've got 20 seconds to go. We're going to hold that leg at hip height, and then we're going to take the leg back behind us, staying bent. So it's like you're trying to tap a toe to the wall behind you. In 2. Last one up. Lower down to hip height. Hand can come in front. Push the leg back. Pull the knee forward. Push back. You can flex the foot as you go back. Think about trying to kick a hole in the wall behind you. Checking in on that bottom shoulder. Pulling it down and back away from the ear. And then obliques are still active. So imagine that right hip bone, that right rib pulling up a little higher every time you push it back. Trying to keep the hips pretty still, not a lot of movement. If we start to move, just stop the kick back a little bit sooner. Last 10 seconds, and then we're holding it back. And then we're going to go little pulses there. Last 2. Last one, back and hold. Go back an inch, in an inch, back, in. Think about trying to stamp that foot to the wall, in, stamp, in. 5, 4, push the knee higher, 2, 3, 2, and 1. And come in, take it out. Hi, puppy. And then for this one, we're going to come all the way down onto the side. So you can go head and hand, head and bicep, whatever feels good. Flex your feet. And then from here, top leg pulses up, exhale, down, inhale. So that bottom leg, if you can get it, just keep it hovering right above the ground. Top hand down for support. Hand can go behind the head to the hip, whatever feels good on this one. And then it's all about that top leg for right now. 20 seconds, I know, hitting that left glute hard to start. And then we're going to hold those feet hip distance apart. Point the toes, and then we're going to little flutter kick, scissor kick, left leg forward, right leg back, and then switch it out. Last 10 seconds. We point the toes in 2. Last one up. Down, hold. Point the toes. Go left leg forward, right leg back, or right leg forward, left leg back. Slow and controlled. 20 seconds to go. Balancing on that hip. You can always roll back a little bit onto that right glute if you need to. 15 seconds. And then we're going to lay down on the back. We're going to take those legs up to the ceiling. Last 2. Last one, both directions. Once you're even, let it go. And we'll roll to the back. Whew. Okay, so tiny recovery on the glutes. Not too much though. So hands go down by the sides, and the knees come into a tabletop position. And from here, we're going to slowly extend the legs out. Exhale, bend in as you inhale. So both legs go out, both legs pull in. You can go hands underneath that sacrum, that low back, making sure you don't arch on this one. If you want it, it doesn't strain your neck, you could crunch it up and hold it up on this one. Think about pulling that low belly down and in. 15 seconds. We're going to hold it out. We're going to take both legs up to the ceiling. Both legs go down. We'll start with the head down. Last 2. Last one out and hold. Head down, hands underneath that low back again. Both legs go up to the ceiling. Both legs lower down. So both legs up and down to about 45 degrees. 15 seconds on this one. If you want it, start to add that crunch back up. You can go hands behind the head, hands down by the sides. Thinking about a little tuck in that chin still. We're adding on, holding it at 45. We're going to pulse out on the band, in. Last one up, go down and hold. Little pulse out and in, out and in. You can point, flex the feet, whatever feels better for you. If it doesn't feel good on the low back, legs lift a little higher. If it doesn't feel great on the hamstrings, those quads, those hip flexors, bend the knees to tabletop, pulse from there. We've got 5. Keep breathing, push out on the exhale. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Slowly pull the knees to tabletop, head down, let it go. So this one, we're gonna say head down. So head down, and then we're gonna go legs back up to the ceiling. We're gonna go into some big circles with the legs, working glutes, inner thighs, and those abs. So legs go straight up to the ceiling, hands underneath the low back again. Lower the legs down to 45, push out on the band, pull up to the ceiling, legs together. Lower down, push out, open with the legs wide, feet together up at the top. Just 20 seconds in this direction. We'll reverse it. Keep breathing. Even with that head down, you should feel deep into that abdominal wall, the transverse abdominis. Last one around this direction, and then hold at the top. Go out to the side, lower down, legs together, pull it up. Out at the top, lower legs open, together at the bottom. Should be nice and shaky on this one. I know. We're gonna hold those legs up and out at the top. Last time around, up and hold. Push out on the band, hands together, crunch up, pulse between the legs. If your hip flexors are screaming like mine are, bend the legs to tabletop and then pulse from there. If you want it though, you can go legs straight up, or you could send the knees forward an inch of those hips. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug it in. Let it go. One side done, and the in-between. And then we'll rock and roll up. You can grab water on the way. And then we'll set up for that second side. So then this time, we're gonna go left knee down underneath the hip, right leg out to the side. And then just for your foot that's down, go flat or tuck the toes, whatever you did on that first side. And then from here, we'll hinge it back, inhale, push it up as you exhale. So that top foot firmly planted, pushing down into the ground. As you go back, feel that back glute. As you push up, thinking about squeezing more into the back of that leg, stacking those shoulders over the hips. Hands wherever they feel good on this one. That top leg, that hip might come back at you. So really think about going forward with that right hip on the way down. 15 seconds, we're in those pulses, up an inch and down an inch. Keep breathing. Last 2, maybe sitting back a little bit farther. Last one, back and hold. Go up an inch, down, up, down. Slow, steady, 10 seconds, hinging forward from those hips, chest lifted, glute and core active. In 2, last one, push it up, hold it up. So from here, same position with those legs, right hand behind the head, left hand to the side, lower down, inhale, pull it up as you exhale. So as you go down, start small. You can always make it bigger as you go. Think about rounding up and over a beach ball. Your gaze could go down to that left hand, or it can stay straight out. Doesn't have to be the same as the other side. Neck is different from side to side. Starting to reach down a little bit further, pausing at the bottom. Imagine you picked up a weight and pull that weight back up with you. 20 seconds. We'll hold it down. Take that right arm up to the ceiling. Reach down to the left hand. Open up. Last 2. Last one, down and hold. Right arm reaches up. Lower down, right arm parallel to the left. Lift it up and open. Lower, parallel, lift, back up. As you go down, thinking about those shoulders squaring off to the mat. As you open up, shoulders stack. 15 more seconds. You should feel that bottom leg on this side especially. We got 2 more, and then we're going to come all the way down to that left side. One more time, up and down. Once you're back up at the top, top hand down, we'll come all the way down onto that left side. So all the way down, we'll start up on that forearm again. So left forearm down this time, that left knee pulls in underneath the hip, that top leg lifts up to hip height, and then we pulse up and down, up and down. Same thing on this side, if the shoulder feels like it's rounding forward into that chest, hand to hip, hand behind the body, whatever feels good. If you do go behind the body, you'll be able to tell if you start to roll backwards on this one, which tends to happen to us on the second side. I know. You've got doggy support though. Always still sleeping. Ooh. Last 15 seconds. And then we're going to hold it up and then go little bitty pulses. 3, 2, last one, and then down an inch, up, down, up. Not here for long. We'll lower back to hip height, go back with the leg, forward. In 3, 2, and 1. Lower to hip height, push it back, exhale. I know. Pull forward as you inhale. Sweep back, kick through that heel, pull it forward. So even though it's not the main focus, core is still working here. Right oblique on the way back to keep that right hip bone pushing forward. And then think about left oblique, low abdominal scooping in and under as you pull the knee back forward. Top hand again wherever it feels good. And then that bottom knee is going to want to drift down on the second side. Imagine you're underneath barbed wire, underneath and above. Trying to keep that knee same spot the whole time. We've got those pulses in 15 seconds. Kicking the heel back, we'll hold back, and then we'll pulse back an inch, in an inch. Last 2. Bottom knee pushing down into that mat. Last one, back hold. Now stamp in, stamp in. Feel that right glute, I know. Ooh. Getting you ready for vacation now. Last 3, 2, and 1. And pull it forward. We'll come all the way down. Whew. Maybe massage out that left glute on the way down. And then for this one, we'll go head in the hand or head down on the bicep. I'm going to go head bicep this side. And then we're going to go both legs out straight. That bottom leg hovers. Whew. Feet flexed. And then that bottom or top leg pulses up, exhale, down, inhale. So thinking about scooping that left waistband up away from the mat, top hand down light on that mat for a little bit of support, stability. You can always roll back a little bit onto that left sit bone, finding that sweet spot or forward. 20 seconds to go. We're going to hold those legs hip distance apart, point the toes, and then we're going to go right leg forward, left leg back, scissoring out those legs, and then switch them out. Last 2. Last 1. Hip distance apart, point the toes, right leg forward, left leg back, left leg forward, right leg back. Keeping that separation between the legs. Top hand can push down a little bit more on this one. You should feel the right glute all the way up into that hip. Last 15 seconds here. Slow and controlled. Keep pulling out through that bottom inner thigh. You don't feel it so much, but it's still working there. Last 2. One more time, full rep. Once you're even, let it go. And come down, tap it out. So from here, we're going to flip back onto the back. One more little core push with that band. We're going to go hands behind the head. And then we're going to start slowly crisscrossing into those bicycle crunches, crunching to the opposite elbow and extending that leg. You can point or flex the leg as it goes out straight. Just think about going about 99% straight. The lower the leg, the more challenging this one's going to get. And then trying to keep those hands light behind the head, those elbows nice and wide. Got 15 seconds. we're gonna crunch into that right leg hold, or left leg hold. That right leg will extend out and hold. And then we're gonna go up to the ceiling with that leg and down. Crunch to the left and hold. That right leg goes up a few inches, down. Point up, flex it down. That right shoulder blade lifted up and off the mat. 3. Exhale, lift. 2. Last one. And switch it out. Now that left leg goes up, point, flex it down. Point up, flex down. Keep pulling that left elbow to the right knee, crunching that shoulder blade up, nice and high. 3. Lift a little higher. 2. Last one. Hug it in, rock it out. And then we'll ditch that band, and we're gonna grab those 5-pound weights. So rolling it up, grabbing those 5-pound weights. And then we're gonna stay hips to heels on this one, and I'm gonna go facing towards the side a little bit. So hips to heels, if that doesn't feel good, you can always sit cross-legged on this one. And then up nice and tall, arms come to shoulder height, little bend in the elbows. We're gonna tap the hands together, exhale, open wide as you inhale. So going into our hug, the tree, tailbone scooping underneath you, hips to heels. And then if it ever stops feeling good there, we can always switch it out. We've got 20 seconds here. We're gonna open the arms out to the side, hold, and then we're gonna lower elbows down, palms up, lift back to shoulder height, palms flip in. Short sets today with those heavier weights. Last 2. Last 1. Open, hold. Lower the arms down, palms up. Lift the arms to shoulder height, palms face in towards you. Down, up with the palms. Lift, palms face towards you. Thinking about tracing that same line every single time. And then coming back to that posture, chin lifted up and off that chest. Shoulder blades sliding down and back. Good. We've got 20 seconds to go. Arms are going to hold down in line with the hips. We're going to go into our serve the tray. Arms scoop, holding that same shape, palms up to shoulder height. Last 2. Last one up, we'll hold it down. Once you're back down, hold. And then from here, scoop up to shoulder height, pull it back down. Scoop, lift, and lower. Keeping that little bend in the elbows. Biceps should be on fire right now. 15 seconds. We're gonna bend the arms on the way down, straighten the arms on the way up to finish this one off. Last 2. Last one, keep that slight bend in the elbows. And then down, bend. So now, forearms and elbows are bent in alignment. Extend straight arms up, pull down, rotate open, extend to the side. In, rotate closed, extend, bend, rotate open, punch to the side. In. 20 seconds. I know. We're gonna hold it up, hold it in, forearms, elbows at the same level, and we're gonna go into that newspaper. Last 10 seconds. Last time, both directions. Rotate open, punch to the sides, in, now just rotate closed, open, close, and open. Last push here. We're gonna start to add on a little pulse in both directions. Next time your hands are together, pulse up an inch, down, open, pulse up, down, close, up, down, open, up, down, close. Last 15 seconds. And then we're gonna come into a tabletop position, bringing those weights with us. Last one. All the way back in and let it go. So bringing those weights with you, we're going to find tabletop position, weights in those hands. So tabletop position, weights in the hands, and we're going to start with that right arm, left leg. So the left leg is going to extend straight back behind you. That right elbow is going to row up, elbow to hip, left leg lifts, tap the weight down. Row, lift the leg a few inches, lower and tap. So as you pull up, elbow squeezes into the hip. If you want more, you could double down on the weight. Hold both weights in that right hand, lifting both weights, that left leg lifts and lowers. 20 seconds here. That left hand can make a fist if your wrist starts to bother you. Just thinking about keeping those shoulders pulling down and back, away from the ears. Last 5, 4. We're going to ditch one of the weights in 3. Last 2. Last one up. Go down, drop one weight, pull back up and hold. Extend the right arm, tricep kickback, bend. Extend, bend. From here, start to curl that left heel to glute as your arm straightens. Extend the leg as the arm bends. So the upper and lower body do the opposite thing. You can point, flex that left foot, whatever feels better, whatever works better for your brain. If that low back starts to bother you on this one, lower that left leg down. We've got pulses in 3, 2, last one, hold that right arm out straight, flex the left foot, pulse up an inch, down, up, down. If you want it, pulse that left heel up to the ceiling with the arm. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down, switch it out. So starting with just one weight in that left hand, that right leg extends back behind you, and then we're rowing the left elbow up, right leg lifts, set it down. Row, lift, and set it down. Just finding your balance on this side. As you pull up, that left elbow squeezes into the side of the body, gazes out beyond the hands, and then every time you lift, draw that belly button to the spine. And then if you want it, adding back on, double down on the weights again here. Both weights in that left hand, lift and lower. Last 15 seconds. And then we're going to ditch one of those weights, pull up and hold, and then we're going to kick back through that left arm. Hold that leg up. In 3, 2, last one up, go down, ditch one weight, pull the left elbow up, hold. Extend the left arm and bend, and then you can start to add that right leg curl as the arm extends. So arm and leg doing the opposite thing, and then you can point or flex that toe, match what you did on the other side. Coming back to that focal point, and then the connection between those hands and knees, pushing down into the mat. Good. We've got 15 seconds. We're going to hold that arm back straight, flexing that foot, and then we're pulsing that left arm up and down. In 2, and 1. Hold, flex that foot, arm and leg pulse up to the ceiling, down, up, down. Almost there. 12 seconds. Neck is long, chin up and off that chest. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pull it down. Let those weights go, and then set them off to the side. So we're going to finish in a forearm plank. So forearms come down onto the mat, and then walk those feet back. Find your plank hold. Tuck the tailbone under. From here, we're going to push up through the hips, head down, lower down, hips in line with the shoulders. Push, scoop up, and lower down. Exhale up, inhale back. If it just feels challenging all around, like it does for me at this moment, you can just focus on continuing to breathe. Just try not to hold the breath. On the way up, Think about taking a sucker punch into that low belly. 15 seconds. Or holding it down. We've got a 15-second hold to finish. Nothing fancy, just holding that strong plank. 3, 2, last one up. Lower down, hold that plank. Shoulders down, gaze out, push into the palms, squeeze those glutes behind you, scoop that belly button in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees down, push it back into that child's pose. Let it go. Nice work today, Famel. I will see y'all next time.